Aloha! Today I would like to address preventing or training your dog not to counter surf. And what counter surfing means is that your dog comes up on the counter and steals things, or on a table and steals things. This is Millie. She's a 9-month-old doodle, and she's been in boarding school for 9 days now. But her big thing is she loves to jump on the counter. The key to prevent counter surfing is management in the beginning. What makes a strong behavior is random reinforcement. So if sometimes they're able to steal food or get something really good off the counter, they're going to keep trying, and they'll try really hard in hopes that they get that chicken that was left, or bread that was left, or anything that was left that's worth their while. So management is the key. But also we can throw training in there to make it worth the dog's while of not counter surfing and teaching them what off and leave it means. One thing to keep in mind too is that if you look at it from your dog's perspective, they get a lot of if they're randomly reinforced off the counter, they can get really good stuff up here, but also really good stuff comes from here, and a lot of attention is paid to the counter. We prepare food here. I mean, I don't even know how many hours we're in the kitchen in a day. It's a place for enjoyment for families, kids running in and out, grabbing goodies, you're baking things, cooking things. So it's a big deal. The kitchen is a big deal. Your dog wants to be part of that. So how we can make it more reinforcing is teaching Millie spot. I have her on a management tool, which is her leash. So if she gets up from her spot, I can just say, no, and I can take her by the leash and bring her back on her spot. And I make the spot really, really rewarding. Good spot, good spot. So if I'm over in the kitchen preparing breakfast, dinner, lunch, snacks, I can put her in her spot. Good girl, yes. Put her in her spot and come over and randomly reinforce her on her spot so she gets enjoyment and reinforcement on that spot. Another thing that we can do is obviously walk through the kitchen, and when she's being a good girl, we can reward her at her level. Never take food from the counter and give it to your dog. Like if you're preparing their breakfast or dinner here, don't take the bowl from the counter and give it to them, because they're seeing that the counter is the reinforcing thing. But reinforce them at their level, or toss a treat on the floor. Good girl, yes. Yes. Okay. And Julie, I'll just have you come over here. Good girl, yes. So right now I'm just walking through the kitchen and I'm rewarding her not jumping up on the counters. Good girl, yes. Granted, I don't have anything on the counters that would be enticing for her right now, but she's just in training, so I have a lot of management going on here. For the video, I made sure I cleared my counters too, so things are pretty clean. Good girl, yes. So I'm just reinforcing her here, and again, we can use her spot. Millie, go spot. Yes. As a tool, as a reinforcement area if I want to be busy preparing things in the kitchen. So now my next step with Millie, okay Millie, is I'll set up booby traps. So I might take a tasty morsel and I'll have it hanging off there. Yes. So I don't know if you saw that. She glanced at the morsel, but she did not jump up. If she jumps up, I can, like a ninja, Millie, good girl, yes. I could redirect her, or I could step on her leash real quick so that she can't get up there. But right now I'm, yes, good girl, Millie, reinforcing her for not jumping up on the counter. Good girl. I can be over by the counter, make it enticing, yes, for her to jump up there, but she's not jumping up on the counter. So my next step after more time and continued reinforcement on her spot and on the kitchen floor is I can try taking a morsel and leave the situation. Because a lot of times people will say, well, my dog does it when they're not looking. So now it's taking the next step. Off. Yes. I'm still close by so I can redirect her. Good girl. Yes, Millie. So she made a conscious choice there. She looked up at the treat, but she didn't jump up on the counter to get it. But I'm right here, a couple feet away, to be able to reward her and tell her she's being a good girl for not jumping up on the counter. And as she gets better, remember, I've only been working on this probably for about 5 days. As she gets better, then I'll test the waters a little bit more by leaving things on the counter, walking away. Yes, Millie, that's my good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Millie. Let her know something's up there. But you guys, I cannot express enough. Yes, that's my good girl. Good girl. I can't express enough. Good spot. Good spot. Management is key in the beginning, because if they're randomly reinforced, then honestly it's going to take a very, very long time. And I know some of you have kids, and that's really hard. Or you have husbands that might not clean up after themselves. That's really hard stuff to deal with. But take advantage of your management tools. You can gate off your kitchen. Use exercise pens to gate off your kitchen. Have the dogs on a leash to be able to redirect them. Teaching off and leave it, which I'll show you in other videos later on, is also very helpful